Hello dear soulmate and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, you'll be learning how to make a princess armhole bustier using the 25% shoulder tightening. If this is what you'd like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this video. Thank you. So I've gone ahead to trace out my basic bodice full scale block. Next, I'll label my pattern starting from the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust point, the underbust, the half length and the blouse length. So the next thing I'll do now is to tighten my underbust using 0.75 for the CF and 1.25 towards the side front. Now connect to your bust point using your French curve like this, and then I've just used my marker to highlight it so you get to see this. Next thing I'll do is to connect it down to the hem of my blouse using the straight part of my curve, as you can see. Now, the next thing you want to do now is to find the midpoint of your shoulder line by dividing your shoulder slope into two, and then you connect it to the bust point. So this is me connecting it to my bust point and just using my marker to highlight it. For my 25% shoulder tightening, I'll go ahead now to open up my green line, and then I will slash my shoulder dart. This is me slashing my shoulder dart, and I would open up my green line. Next, I'll close my bust point, that's my bust dart, thereby transferring the dart at the bust area to the shoulder. Just go ahead and blend up your pattern like this. Now, I have transferred my dart to the shoulder, and I'll just go ahead and measure what I have there. For the 25% tightening, whatever you have there now, you are going to divide it into 4. And then I'll just mark it on my pattern like this. Now I'm going to close up my pattern, and then I would remeasure and remark my shoulder slope. Then I'll connect the mark I made down to the bust point line. Next, I'll slash my bust dart and then close up my shoulder dart like this. So we're actually gonna head to do our 25% tightening on the shoulder line. Next thing you want to do now is to go ahead and connect your new armhole line using your curve. Alright, now so it's time to get our armhole dart, and to do that now I'll measure my new armhole circumference round and then divide it into 2 and then mark it like this. Then I'll connect it to my bust point using my French curve, as you can see. Now once I'm done with that, the next thing to do now is to determine your neckline. For this blouse now, I want a queen neckline. So I'm just going to go ahead and come down from my neck depth by 6 inches, and then from the shoulder tip by 7 inches, and then I'll connect it like this. You can use any neckline of your choice, but for this tutorial, I'm making use of a queen neckline, and this is just me highlighting it using my marker. Now you need to tighten your shoulder to prevent the neck from gaping. So you want to come down by 0.5 inch from the neck tip and then just connect it like this. Now for my back shape now, I am going to come down from my blouse length by an extra 1 inch, and then from the waistline I'll come down by 3 inches or more depending on what you want. Then I'll connect it using a straight ruler to give me that back shape. Next, you want to go ahead and close your dart and then reblend your back shape. I'll repeat the same thing for the back. I'll come down about 3 inches from the back, and then from the side back, and then 3 inches from the center back, and then I'll just connect it into a straight line like this. Now the next thing for me to do now is to cut out my pattern. But before I do that now, I'll just go ahead and close up my bust dart. And to do that now, you need to slash open a dart. So slash out your waist dart now and then close up your bust dart. Can you see? So I'm going to have to slash my waist dart and then I'm just closing up my bust dart. So you want to go ahead and tip it down. Once you're done with that now, just go ahead and cut out your pattern. And then your pattern is ready. Your armhole dart or armhole bustier using 25% tightening with the quenelle neckline and then the back shape is actually ready. Now this method is actually one of my favorite methods because it actually prevents your armhole from being too tight in such a way that the wearer is unable to raise up their arms. This method eliminates any possible means of the armhole being too tight. So this is me just cutting out my back pattern. Now, so I actually went ahead and I decided to alter my back pattern into the armhole dart too. And now I just found the midpoint of my armhole and I'm connecting it to my dart. So this is me just labeling my side front, center back, so I don't get confused. Now our pattern set is ready. So this is the fabric I'll be working with and this is the lining I'll be using. So for my seam allowance, I actually went ahead to add 1.5 inch to the side front and the side back, and then 1 inch to the hem and 0.5 inch to all other parts of my pattern. I've also gone ahead to fuse my fabric with stay. You can also do the same thing for your lining. You can fuse your lining piece with stay. But because this is a tutorial, I just decided to fuse the main fabric alone with stay. Now it's time for us to cut out our pad for the front, and I'll be using wadding for this. Now to cut the pad, you go up by 2 inches from the chest line for both the center front and then the side front. Now at the side front, now you want to come in by 1 inch and then you connect using your free hand like this. You connect it to the underbust to form your padding and then label. Now I'm actually gonna cut out my padding on my wadding. Like I said, I'm using wadding for this. So you want to go ahead and notch your underbust line like this. And then the next thing you want to do is to pin down your padding to your fabric and then fuse it. So to fuse it now, I'll be using my hemming gum to hold it. Actually going ahead to cut out 2 layers of the softest wadding. You can use your bra foam or the thick wadding or even your stay to actually pad your bustier like this. Once your underbust tightening is actually accurate, you would get your desired result. After fitting your wadding now, the next thing for us to do is to join this. Always ensure you join from the hem. So I'm just pinning that and making sure my underbust line is aligning. Remember we have a notch at the underbust. So you always want to go ahead and pin down from the hem, and also you start your joining from the hem. Repeat the same thing for the back and then for the lining too. Now I'm gonna add to join this and I've also pressed it open with my iron. Now the next thing for us to do is to join our neckline. So I'm going to pin down my main fabric to the lining, both the front and the back, and then I'm going to join the neckline. Now for the back now, I won't be joining the neckline up to the zipper allowance. I would stop 1 inch away from the zipper allowance so as to fix my zipper. Now I'm gonna add to join. This is what it looks like and I've pressed it open. And this is what the back looks like after I've joined it. Now it's time to install our zipper. You want to come up by 2 inches from the hem of the center back, and then you join it. You use your lining fabric to turn it over. Now I've joined it, and this is what I have. You can see how neat it is. Next thing for us to do is to join the sides together. So you want to go ahead and pin both the front and the back together at the sides, and then mark your seam allowance. So the seam allowance I actually left was 1.5, so that is what I'll be using to join my sides together. So you want to go ahead and then pin fabric to fabric and then lining to lining, because we actually want the inseam finishing. So take your time to actually pin and then mark out your seam allowance. Remember, it is 1.5. Same for both the fabric and the lining. Now I have joined it, and this is what it looks like. It's so neat already. Now the next thing you want to do is to go ahead and join your shoulder. So you pin the front and the back together and then join it using 0.5 inch. And then when you're done, you want to go ahead and join the hem of your blouse like this using 0.5 inch. Now I'm actually gonna need to join the hem of my blouse. This is me taking out my pins. Now I'm going to actually notch, so I'll be able to press it open. This is me just notching to avoid bulkiness at the end. Now you want to go ahead and press it open using your steam iron. Now this is what I have when I'm done pressing it, and I've also gone ahead to join the shoulder. The next thing for us to do now is to draft and sew and join our sleeve to it. Now for my sleeve now, I actually want a balloon sleeve, and this is me just folding over the leftover fabric into two. Now I am going to measure my armhole and then multiply it by 2, because I actually want gathered effect at the upper part of my sleeve. Now I'm going to measure the length of my sleeve, which is 10 inches plus an extra 3 inches for the puffy effect, like this. Also, you want to add 1 inch for the elastic casing. Remember, this sleeve will be having an elastic at the end, so this is me adding my 1 inch for the elastic casing at the end. Now I'm just connecting this now. Now from the top part of your sleeve, you want to come down by 3 inches and then connect it into the sleeve edge like this. And then at the end of the sleeve, you actually want to measure your bicep and then multiply it by 2 or 3 inches for the puffy effect, and then just connect it like this. And then you want to go ahead and cut this out. So you're cutting 2 of this for both sleeves. So just fold this fabric again and then cut for the second sleeve like this. Remember, the more puffy you want, the more allowance you add to your sleeve. Now the next thing for me to do is at the hem. Now I'm going to fold for my bone casing 0.5 inch 2 times, and then at the upper part I'm going to run a gathered stitch. Now this is me when I'm done, and I'm actually gonna add my elastic casing at the hem, and I've also gone ahead to create my gathered stitch at the upper part, and I'm just going to go ahead and fix it into my armhole. So you want to pin down and then you sew round on 0.5 inch. So just ensure that your gathers is actually even. Now this is the finished product, and as you can see, it is neat. Just want to go ahead and weave the armhole. Now this is the end result. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly give us the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Kindly like, share, and tag a soulmate that will need this. Bye.